What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about how you can read defenses. So we're going to be breaking down everything quarterbacks, wide receivers, generally offensive players should be thinking about pre-snap, post-snap, and some of the reads that you're ultimately making. So this first clip right here, I want to talk to you about something called a pre-snap process. So a pre-snap process is for quarterbacks. Also, receivers can have a pre-snap process, but we're going to talk about this from the quarterback lens. So the thing that you want to look for first, this is at least the process that I would use, is you want to go from the safeties to the corners to the box. That's kind of like your three identification points to be able to tell you what the coverage is doing so you can determine where to go with the ball, right? So for the safeties, you want to look at a couple things. I want to look at the number of safeties that there are. I want to look at how deep they are. I want to look at their stance. I want to read their body language to determine maybe is one rolling down or does it look like they're going to be bailing? And the number of the safeties kind of is like a process of elimination to tell you what coverage it is, right? So right here, right off the bat, we see two high safeties. So one thing we can notice is that they're uneven. One of them looks like they're rolling down, so they may be trying to disguise the coverage, but at least right now it looks like two high safeties. So that could tell me that it's cover 2, that could tell me that it's cover 4, or maybe even cover 6 in some cases. Cover 2 is where the corners would be sitting and playing the flats. The safeties take the deep halves. Cover 4 would be where the corners are bailing, and these safeties are bailing, so they split the field up into four, I guess say 4 quarters. They call this quarters coverage as well. Or maybe it's cover 6 where one side of the field is in cover 4 and the other side of the field is in cover 2. But it does look like this safety might be starting to creep and roll down. So it could switch to a one high safety concept, which could maybe either be cover 1 or it could be cover 3. So then we look to the corners. So one of the corners on the left side looks like he's obviously in press coverage, which is normal. This is an NFL defense. So a lot of times what NFL defenses will do is they'll tag a DB and have him play man coverage even when the rest of the defense is in a zone type coverage concept. And then this corner at the top of the screen right here looks like he's going to be bailing off and playing zone. Now, I wouldn't think that it was cover 6 because cover 6 generally doesn't happen to the wide side of the field, right? To the wide side of the field, you would be more so, because this looks a lot like cover 2, right? Corners pressed. We got one safety here. He might be playing that deep half. But generally to the wide side of the field, that's a lot of ground for this safety to cover. So it probably wouldn't be cover 6. It looks a little bit more like, if anything, I would guess that it's cover 4 with a man coverage tag. Or if this guy's rolling down, it would be cover 3 with a man coverage tag as well. Or he could be playing press bail and disguising what he's doing. This is all pre-snap. Now, I'm taking this very, very slow. I'm breaking this down in detail, but you guys need to have a much quicker pre-snap process, and it takes repetition. And then obviously I want to look to the box, right? So it looks like they might be bringing 5 guys right here and have 2 linebackers. I would anticipate that that would probably be cue for this guy rolling down. So it's either going to be like they're bringing 5, and then it's like a 5-3-3, which means like 5 down linemen, 3 guys, I guess you could say like linebackers, even though this guy's a safety, and then 3 guys in the secondary, right? So what ends up happening here is after the snap of the ball, you see the safety rolls down, but this guy doesn't actually bring pressure, and it turns into a 4-4, and it looks a lot like a cover 3 defense because of how this corner is playing at the bottom, turning, so he was disguising his coverage into press bail. But now the quarterback here, regardless of what the concept is on the left side of the field, we got a great one-on-one matchup here. This is Amari Cooper at the bottom of the screen, obviously a great receiver, obviously a great route runner who has a great press release, so we see that, we see the single high safety, and maybe we want to take a shot to the right side of the field. But how he determines that is all based on his pre-snap read and then obviously his post-snap read, seeing that safety come down and know that that corner's pretty much on an island and he doesn't have help out there with one of the best route runners that we got. So that pre-snap process is something that you guys could take in on every single play. Even if you have like a simple passing concept, like let's say it's doubles, right? Let's say on this side you have like double slants, and then on the left side you have like a bubble from the slot and a slant from the outside. And let's say they come out in 2 high safeties. And let's say it looks a lot like cover 2. We probably wouldn't like this side of the field versus cover 2 because the corner could play the bubble and the slant would be taken by a linebacker. So I'd work the double slant side because I know the corner's out of the play and I could just read the outside backer. So a pre-snap process is key for any quarterback, any wide receiver to kind of understand what to expect and understand where to go with the ball. Now, fellas, before we get into some other plays on how you can read defenses, if you're a quarterback or wide receiver watching this video and you would like to train with us this offseason, we're traveling out to 15 different cities all across the country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So, guys, go to that very first link in the description below if you would like to sign up. Our next camp is going to be in San Francisco. Then we'll be coming out to Orlando, Phoenix, Columbia, South Carolina, Seattle, Oklahoma City, Nashville, Milwaukee, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Denver, Colorado, Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, Salt Lake City, Utah, and Los Angeles, California. So guys, want some more information? Very first link in that description below. These camps, guys, they all will sell out probably within the next couple of months simply because we limit spots at these camps. We're already getting a ton of signups from you guys, so spots are filling up. We limit the spots so we can work with each athlete individually. We don't have these massive groups out there where nobody's getting reps and there's a bunch of standing around. We take the time to work with each athlete. That's why we limit spots. So guys, if you want to train with us, make sure you take advantage of us being open now because we will fill up soon. So very first link in that description below. We'd love to see you there. So this next clip, we're going to be more so focused on the passing concept and how you guys can understand, again, using a pre-snap process, where to go with the field. But this is a great passing concept that exploits a too high safety defense, right? So pre-snap process, we come up to the line of scrimmage. We motion the receiver across the formation over here. And what the concept is he's going to be running a wheel route. This receiver is going to be doing just a quick step back for a screen. We have our tight end on the left side of the screen running a dig. And then we have our outside receiver running a deep, skinny post. Okay, so this is great versus a too high defense simply because on this side of the field, so the right side, that's a great cover 2 beater concept. And then on the left side of the field, that's a great cover 4 beater concept. And that's one of the two coverages that this defense might be in. So pre-snap process wise, I see 2 deep safeties. Okay, these safeties look a little wide, but they also look like they're a little bit close. Generally in cover 2, these safeties would probably be a little bit deeper, maybe about like 12 yards back rather than kind of close up. This safety's kind of in like a squatted stance. Okay, now I'm going to look to the corners. This corner looks like he's off. This corner looks like he's pressed, but he is outside leverage. Like the last example, corners will always lie to us, you guys. If corners show press, that doesn't guarantee what they're doing. They might bail. They might stay in man coverage. They might sit in the flats. They always try to change up what they're doing. Corners will lie. Safeties will tell the truth. So for these safeties being so close up, I'm actually anticipating that's most likely cover 4, especially on the left side of the field because that corner is off, and the concept on the left is a great cover 4 beater. Then obviously I look to the box, right? So I see this linebacker is probably the middle backer. I see the outside backer. This looks like the opposite outside backer as well. Looks like he's probably going to be dropping into coverage, and they'll be bringing 4 guys. So it'll be a 4-3, either cover 2 or cover 4. More than likely cover 4. So let's play this thing full speed. So in fact, what happens is that it is cover 4. You see how this corner starts to run with the wheel. That's why Michael Penix is looking over here to this side first, because if this corner were to crash, this wheel route would be a great route to throw versus a cover 2 safety, whether we feel like he could beat him over the top and we throw it over the top, or whether this safety is taking a very deep angle and we throw the ball on like a hole shot to slow down the receiver in that weak point between the cover 2 defense. So he peeks over to this side of the field, doesn't like it because it's not cover 2. So we're going to work back over here. So obviously on the left side of the field, what we have is we have a dig, and then we have a deep post from the outside. So that forces this safety to have to pick one. That's why this is such a great concept versus cover 4. Because if that safety crashes on the dig route like he does, what do we take? We take the deep post over the top because there's nobody over there. If he backpedals and runs at that deep post, we take the dig over the middle, no problem. So watch with this play here and watch the type of ball that Penix throws. Gets his eyes back over to the left side of the field, stays in the pocket, and delivers a strike. That's all based on pre-snap and post-snap reads, you guys. And if you want to get better at reading defenses, that is what you have to master.